What's going on? What's going on? Good people, welcome to another episode of Grow, Live, Dream. I am your boy LeVar Robinson, and this is my brother T Hutton, the motivator. And we so excited to be here with you guys. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Oh man, I'm doing amazing, man. Loving the new intro.
You know what I mean? Hey man, if y'all like that intro, man, y'all go ahead and love it in the comments, man. Love it in the comments. Listen, we have an amazing show to talk to you guys about today. I'm excited about it. That's right, Gavin Jordan. Hey man, shout out to that boy Gavin Jordan for putting that beat together. He's amazing. We appreciate you, brother. But today we're gonna be talking about, are you falling asleep at the wheel? Talk to me, T Hutton.
Yeah, man. First off, like you said, man, thank you, Gavin. We really appreciate that, man. And look, we love it too. The intro is fire. But man, are you falling asleep at the wheel? So what does this really mean today? Like, are you falling asleep at the wheel? I'm driving down the road, LeVar, and it hits me out of the blue. Like, I'm like, man, that is an amazing topic to talk about. Are you falling asleep at the wheel? Because there's so many people on their way somewhere in their life. Mm-hmm. We all have different destination goals that we're trying to get to. Yeah. And oftentimes we get tired in the process. Along the journey, we get tired. And the question today is, are you falling asleep at the wheel? Are you getting tired along the way? LeVar, have you ever been traveling somewhere and kind of got tired on the way to your destination?
110%. And I realized that sometimes when that was happening, we had to do things like cutting on the radio. You had to do things like letting the window down. Sometimes you just start yelling for no reason at all, trying to give yourself some extra energy. And that's how it is in life, man. Sometimes you falling asleep at the wheel while you're trying to get where you needing to go, and you need some things set in place, some things you need to be looking at it to wake yourself back up.
Yes, sir, definitely. And
what's up, go ahead, bro.
And so when we're looking at this concept, are you falling asleep at the wheel? First off, congratulations. You're in the vehicle. You're on your way. That right there is a reason for you to be excited, because you're on your way to your goal. You're on your way to your destination. Celebrate you in that moment. That's a good thing. Now, the problem with that is there some stuff that you had to do to get ready for this journey. Like if you love, we were ready to go somewhere. I remember when we was getting ready to go to Las Vegas one time together, and we were trying to make sure we had packed everything. And it seemed like we went in and out of the house about 15 times just for one trip.
Trying to get it together.
Because what happens is when you're going on a journey where you're trying to reach this goal, these dreams, if it's career-based or if it's business-based, even if it's family-based, there are some things that you must do, some precursors you must do on the front side.
That's right.
And in preparation, what you're doing is you're burning energy. And here's the good thing. You need to prepare. We don't want you to feel like you shouldn't prepare, but we understand with preparation, you are utilizing the energy that you must have along the journey also.
That's right. And you're using your mind as well. Have you ever been ready to go on a long trip? You're like, man, let me make sure I get me some sunflower seeds, Let me make sure I get me some gum, right? Let me make sure I get these things, put these things in place just in case I start getting tired. And that's how life is, right? You got to make sure you have those person, places, and things in place, right? Just in case something happens, just in case you get tired. We get tired all the time, right? If you've been doing something, if you've been going after your dreams, right? And somewhere along the line, you kind of lost a little bit of oomph, go ahead and put in the comments, I remember that. I remember that, because a lot of people do that. Have you ever done that before, Tia?
Man, you know what? I'll be honest with you. That sometimes you get burnt out, even before you get started on the journey well. Like you get all the packing and everything. Look, I'll be honest with you. I've literally gotten ready to leave, packed the car and did everything and say, you know what? I'll leave tomorrow. Like, I put so much energy into putting everything in the car. I put so much energy in packing that I feel too spent to get on the road. I feel too tired to get on the road, because I know if I get on the road and I get behind the wheel, there's some danger if I get too sleepy. And see, sometimes we have to be honest with ourselves. We must get a good night's rest before we get on that road, on that journey. There's some stuff that you need to do to prepare yourself for that journey that may not actually be labor. It may be resting. Getting ready
Right.
for the journey.
It can also be what you're telling yourself. It could also be that thing that's going on in your head before you even get on the journey. For instance, right?
Yeah.
Making sure that no matter what's going on, that voice in your head is telling yourself the right things, right? Because we were talking earlier, and I was talking to someone else about this, and it's super important what I'm getting ready to say. Listen, we always tell ourselves we have to make sure that we be careful about what we do in the dark, right? They say what you do in the dark must come to light, right? We hear that all the time. So let me ask you this. If you're telling yourself the wrong things in the dark, we ain't even got on the journey yet, right? We ain't even started moving yet, right? If you're already telling yourself that you ain't good enough, if you're already telling yourself that you're not dope, if you're already telling yourself that you're going to get tired, if you're already telling yourself, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, what makes you think that that's not going to manifest into that journey? What make you think that that's not going to manifest and have a big problem come up in the end? Talk to me, Tiago.
Man, you said something, man. You said a word that a lot of people are flocking to and running away from. Manifest.
Manifest. Y'all put manifest in the chat, y'all.
Put manifest. It's either you're trying to manifest something or something you're not trying to manifest is going to be manifested. That's a fact.
It's going to happen.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Look, let me get us there. You know what I'm saying? Let's get going real quick. So we get out here and we're on this journey, right? Mm-hmm. And we're driving down this road. We are chasing our goals at 100 miles an hour. And first off, let me take a step back and say thank you to everybody that is commenting, everybody that's watching live. Make sure you like, love, share, continue to comment, be active. We love the activity inside the group. Amanda, thank you. Tanika, thank you.
Malika, thank you.
Yes.
Terica,
we appreciate you. But LeVar, we're going down this journey, right? And if you like me, LeVar, I'm flying. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm probably breaking the speed limit. I'm breaking the speed limit. I might not be going that fast. I'm going a little bit over the speed limit. I'm in that what they used to call that 10-mile-an-hour safety buffer. I'm rolling, right? But even then, no matter how fast you're going, every step of the way, every mile, every leg of the journey takes some energy out of you.
That's right.
Have you ever got to that place, LeVar, where you feel like I just need I just need to take a little small blink. Mm-hmm. I don't need to go to sleep. I just need to take a long blink. That one long blink.
Right.
What happened is that one long blink end up, going to sleep.
That you end up going to sleep, right? And it's interesting that you just said that, because sometimes we actually have to listen to what's going on in our head, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes our body, our mind, our energy is telling us what's going on. They're telling us what we need to do, and we sometimes ignore it, right? So even when we're thinking about that little blink, that's our body saying, listen, bro, slow down, right? Go ahead and stop, pull over, refuel, right? Go ahead and get your energy back up.
Boy, get that 5-hour energy drink.
You better get some. I remember when we was in the military, and for whatever reason, I used to go on these long journeys all the time, right? I was living in Arizona, and I would go to Louisiana. I would drive to Louisiana. That's like a 24-hour trip, right? And for whatever reason in my mind, I was like, I'm just gonna try to drive the whole thing. Okay, yeah, I know. All right, y'all don't have to tell me. I know I was crazy. I was super crazy. But one of the things I did was I would get to the point where I'm a little bit tired, and I'd stop at that point. I give me some no-dos. Y'all remember the no-dos, right? The no-dos was on something else, right? And I give me a little bit of no-dos. I take that no-dos and what I didn't really prepare for, right? Because we know we're going on this trip, we got to make sure we're preparing, right? Yeah. So what I didn't really prepare for was the downside of the no-dos. On the other side, that thing had me so tired on the back end of my trip. It was crazy, right? Now, had I thought this thing through, had I really been real with myself, I would not have tried to take those long trips like that, but I didn't. I didn't prepare the right way. I didn't think about it rationally.
And that's the thing. When we start talking about that long blink, like LeVar said, is your body telling you, hey, look, get yourself ready, because we're going to shut it down. Whether you want to or not, we're about to go into autopilot, and we hoping your car has autopilot also. and it's the same thing that happens with your life and your career, because things are happening and they're happening all around you, and you get so tunnel vision when you're driving that you kind of start to blur things out. The lines all start to merge together. You look too far out ahead of you. Everything is one lane.
That's right.
The problem is you become hypnotized by the journey itself, and you start to fall asleep at the wheel.
Wait, pause. I need you to say that again. I need you to say that one more time, because I need somebody to hear that. Somebody need to hear that.
Man, so the lines, if you look further enough out there ahead of you, they all become one, and we all start to think it's one lane. And the further you go, you become hypnotized.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And as the journey hypnotizes you, you go to sleep. The problem with falling asleep, and this is why we're asking you, are you asleep at the wheel, is this. You could stay asleep for a second or two and maybe nothing happens. But what happens if you start to drift? Because drifting could be detrimental to your life or catastrophic for somebody else's life. You hear what I'm saying, LeVar?
Oh, 110%. I was just sitting here thinking. I'm sitting here thinking. I wanted to make sure I threw this in here because when we back at the preparation stage, real quick. When we back at the preparation stage, we should have already looked at the map, looked ahead, and said, you know what? At these particular points, I'm going to stop. At these particular points, I'm going to maybe get a drink. Maybe use the restroom, maybe whatever. I'm going to reevaluate where I'm at.
Yeah.
Boom. I hope you guys got what I just said, because it's the same thing in life. We can look at things in so many different aspects, but in life, we have to make sure that we have those reevaluation stages, or we're reevaluating where we are. Go ahead, T-Head, and jump back in, brother.
Man, you know what? So I was doing a little research about this because, I was curious how many accidents are caused by people falling asleep. And the Traffic Safety Foundation said, they did a study, and they said 37% of drivers are falling asleep behind the wheel at some point in their life. An estimated 21% of fatal crashes happen due to somebody being drowsy or asleep. Fatal crashes. 21%. That's almost a quarter of fatal crashes are due to somebody being drowsy or asleep.
That's right.
How many people are sleeping at the wheel in their lives?
How many people are sleeping at the wheel? Now, I want you to understand something about the sleeping in the wheel thing, right? Sleeping at the wheel thing. Notice we're not saying how many people are sleeping for you. How many people are sleeping in the wheel? Are you sleeping at the wheel? Are you? That means that you have to make sure you take responsibility. You're taking responsibility. No one else is sleeping for you, right? Are you, right? So when we're talking about this responsibility, we have to make sure that we take that thing serious. Are you sleeping at the wheel? Go ahead, T-Hut.
So here's my thing. If you're sleeping at the wheel, what are some things that we can do to change that? LeVar started you off with the best thing, and that's preparation. Like know the goal, know the destination, and be honest with yourself. What is it going to require for you to get there? I laughed when LeVar said the thing about making that 24-hour trip to Louisiana from Phoenix.
I don't know what I was thinking.
I used to make that same trip at 26 hours, thinking I could do the same thing driving to Jackson, Mississippi from the same apartment. We were roommates. He would head to Louisiana, and I would head to Jackson, Mississippi. And I would make the drive and make it in 26 hours. But when I got there, here's the thing. Now, this is important, LeVar.
Ooh, I already know you about to say. I know where you're going.
I'm about to make the point about I couldn't enjoy the destination when I got there because I was too tired to enjoy the goal once I reached it. There's so many people now that are too tired when they finally reach their destination because they didn't prepare properly along the way, along the journey. You get somewhere, you finally get the job, but you can't enjoy it. You finally get the spouse, but you can't enjoy it.
But if you would have prepared,
but you can't enjoy it. You finally get whatever the dream is. Is it the money or whatever the goals are, materialistic, non-materialistic, whatever it is, and you can't enjoy it.
Which happens a lot, right? which happens a lot. That's why you see a lot of people who have a lot of money are unhappy, they're unfulfilled, right? They're unhappy, they're unfulfilled. We talking about most people are like, ooh, I wish I had a lot of money. I can't wait until I have a lot of money. I can't wait until I have a lot of money, right? Not realizing that there's people with a lot of money that are super unhappy. They're unfulfilled. They didn't even prepare for all of the money, right? They didn't even put their journey together. They fell asleep at the wheel once they even got close. I'm gonna tell you guys, we got to be careful with that. What's going on? I already know you got something to say to you.
Hey man, look. So I'm laughing because in my head I say, you know how many people play the lotto?
I know it's
the lotto was just over $1 billion, right? And everybody's like, man, if I win that $1 billion, I'll do A, B, C, and D with it. Most people are thinking about how they would spend $1 billion. And you know what happened? Like most other people who won the lotto, they'll be back in the same position they were. They didn't prepare for it. See, the mindset is what shifts the perspective. And if you don't shift your mindset, whether you have $1 billion or if you have $10, you're going to always have the same lifestyle. You can do paycheck to paycheck with $1 million job.
Oh, you know, a lot of people don't know that. Wait, pause. Say that again, please.
Paycheck to paycheck
with $1 million job.
You know how many? It's funny because people don't take into consideration. LeVar, watch this. Because see, I was watching TV and I seen someone and they was doing a special about an actor who was working at a grocery store. I'm not going to say his name, but they was doing a special about him, right? There's a lot of people that were once really famous, really popular, making a lot of money, and now they're back in humble positions. It's not a knock at the person, but what happens is oftentimes, if you're not a good steward of what you have, whether you're not a good steward of your time and you don't have a lot of time, imagine what type of person you're going to be if you got a ton of time and you're still not a good steward.
See, this is important. It's important what you're saying right now. Because we got to understand that we got to grow along the way.
Oh, yeah.
You got to have the energy to grow along the way. You got to prepare to grow along the way. All of these things are your fuel. So that when you get to your destination, right? Because you was already preparing for the destination. Yeah. Right? See, understand when we travel and see how we do one thing is how we do everything. If I get in a car and I say, you know, I'm going to Louisiana, nothing gonna stop me until I get to Louisiana. But if I say, you know what, I want to be a millionaire for whatever reason, because you put that millionaire, billionaire, when you put those goals that we can't necessarily see ourselves getting, all of a sudden there's barriers out of the wazoo. We can't see it. Vision starts getting blurry, all kinds of craziness. Right? But it's the same thing. If you say you're going to Louisiana, you get in the car, you just got to drive. You got to keep going. If there's a roadblock, you go ahead and take that pivot. Detour. My girl, we talking about that all the time. You take that pivot, right? But you continue moving. How many of you guys have seen somebody hit a barrier while they were on their way to a goal or on their way to a trip and they ended up turning around? Go ahead, Tia.
So, you know what? It's funny you said pivot, and I said that too. I literally coach the people on what I call pivot points. So when you said pivot, it's just like that's me. I teach people that pivot points. But my point is, like you're saying, you hit that barrier, and when you're driving down the road, because we're using this as an analogy. You're driving down the road, and you got a goal in mind, and you're tired. You know what makes it even worse, LeVar, when you're tired and you're driving down the road? When you hit a detour. You see that little sign that says. You see that sign that says the next so many miles are going to be construction. Construction for the next 10 miles. You'd be like, man, I was just driving 80 miles an hour. Now I got to slow down to 25. And guess what? That wears on you. It wears on you physically. It wears on you mentally. And it's the same thing in your life. You're headed towards your goal. You're almost at graduation. You told your mom, you told your dad you're going to go to school and get that degree. And something happens. And guess what? Financial aid didn't go through. The scholarship got canceled. And now you got to figure out how you're going to pay for that last semester of school. You got to take a detour. And that wears on you. It wears on your conscience.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, have you ever come in contact with somebody that, look, I met someone, LeVar, who's living in Phoenix, Arizona, and they were in their last semester of school. They hit a roadblock. And it took them 4 years to go back and finish one semester of school. It took them more time to get back in school than it took them to get to their senior year in school. Because if you don't have the preparation, because sometimes you prepare, but you don't prepare for everything. And you can't prepare for everything. But there are some things that, let's be honest with ourselves, you can prepare for. You don't start a road trip without making sure you got a spare tire.
Please, just in case y'all do on here, I know some of y'all ladies be doing, y'all be a little suspect. I mean, y'all forgive me. Don't ever start a road trip without a spare. Go ahead.
Look, don't worry about it, because I know some guys that can't change a spare tire. Facts. Because everybody is not aware of. You better make sure if you can't change a spare tire, you ain't got a spare tire. Guess what you better have? AAA, some road. You better have something. Maybe that's not your thing.
And but either way, you prepared. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Make sure you prepared. But here's the thing: if you fall asleep at the wheel, there are some safety precautions already out there for you.
Tanika said you tried it.
There are some safety precautions out there for you. LeVar, real true story, everybody watching this. My best friend will tell you, we did something that we had no business doing.
No business. I already know where you at. I already know. Go ahead.
We're driving home from Mississippi back to Louisiana. The day after, let's be honest, I fell asleep at the wheel for about an hour. Guy watched over us. It's 3 of us in the car. We all survived. But we're back on the road again. And our friend gets in the front seat. And we're like, hey, bro, don't get in the front seat if you're going to sleep.
We need you to stay up.
Stay up. You the co-pilot. We can't all be sleeping again in the car. Sure enough, we get in the car. We on the road. We've been on the road about an hour and 15 minutes. He goes to sleep. I look over and I look back at LeVar in the back seat. I say, hey, man, this is what I want you to do. I want you to scream like your life is over. And I'm going to pull to the side of the road and hit this safety measure, which are those bumps on the side of the road.
Wait. Well, you leaving out a big, you leaving out a major part. There was a diesel in front of us. You go ahead. You can't use that part.
You didn't want to put that out there.
You can't use that part out. My best friend crazy, y'all, I'll tell you.
So I get real close to the back of a diesel, lock up the brakes, hit the bumps on the side of the road. We both scream.
Top of our lungs. You hear me?
The guy in the passenger seat wakes up. All he sees is back of diesel.
He almost had a heart attack. My God.
The point of it is that there's safety precautions on the side of the road to keep you safe in case you fall asleep to wake you up. But there's some other things that can happen if you don't wake up. Because had I truly been asleep, we could have been into the back of that diesel.
Yeah.
Had I truly been asleep, we could have been off the side of the road in the ditch.
That's right.
So those are some safety things that you got to worry about. Here's another question, LeVar. We talked about this, and the reason we told him to go to sleep, because who's traveling down the road with you? Who's on the journey with you? Because the person that's traveling with you should be keeping you awake.
Come on. Wait.
If you got somebody
pause.
Hold on.
Say it again.
I'm gonna say this because I need to get this one off my chest. If you on your way somewhere,
say it again.
Hey, if you on your way somewhere, LeVar, and the person in the passenger seat is not their car, but you taking them to a destination, there's no way they should be asleep on the way. Now, I'm gonna make this real for you. If you're building a legacy for your family, your kids, they shouldn't be sleeping while you're building this legacy. They should be keeping you focused on the dream.
That's right. The people closest to you have to be y'all. The people closest to you have to be y'all. You have to make sure that the people that are closest to you are helping you focus, or else they're the wrong people. They're keeping you on task. They're hold you accountable. With that being said, if you don't have an accountability partner right now, you need to go ahead and go find them. You don't want to find people that's going to continue falling asleep on a journey. When we're going to get something, we're moving somewhere together. We're building something special. If you don't got what it takes, I got to find some people that do.
Hey, man, I just had a spiritual moment, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, to be honest with y'all. I started thinking about back in my Bible when Jesus asked his disciples, how many times are you gonna fall asleep? Because he told them, hey, you stay watch, I'm gonna go do some prayer. He came back and they were asleep. Came back again, they would sleep again. Like, how many times do you got to ask the people in your life to stay vigilant? Because you need them to keep you vigilant. If I ask you to keep watch, I don't need you falling asleep at watch. LeVar, I'm in the military in Baghdad. We had a guy fall asleep on watch, and we had people get into the camp and try to detonate a major bomb because somebody fell asleep on the watch. They fell asleep at the wheel. You are leading this vessel. And this vessel is your life. You can't fall asleep at the wheel. You should be so motivated that when it's time to go to sleep, you can't sleep. I heard ET say he was mad at his body for his body telling him he had to go to sleep.
ET.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you mad.
Hey, and you've heard so many people that's so motivated, so many people doing things with their life say that I don't need an alarm clock. My body wakes me up because I'm ready to get up and get back at it.
They inspired. That journey got them with tons of energy. And this happens to a lot of people that are excited about where they're going. You ain't got to force them to move. You ain't got to force them to do what they need to do. You don't have to force them to steal time from different places. Like, you know what? Dang, this popped up. I'm gonna have to steal some time from this over here because I gotta make up because I'm that serious about my journey. I'm that serious about where I'm going.
Hey, do me a favor, say steal time again, because I want somebody to get what that really means. Steal time. And you stealing time from yourself.
That's right.
How many people are stealing time from their families because they ain't put in 100% when they was at work, so now they got to go home and work from home? How many people are stealing time from themselves? You giving up your sleep, but you're being, you know what I'm saying, you have doing the job when you're doing it. So it's taking you more time to get the job done.
It take you more time to get the but listen, understand something. You're going to have to put in some sacrifice if you're trying to get to where you need to go, period, right? You're going to have to sacrifice a little bit. You're going to have to make sure that you're like, wait a minute, hold on. If I don't get it done, I have no other choice. I got to get it done. I got to make it happen. The problem is that you ain't got enough oomph to make it happen. You're not doing what you need to do. The problem is you don't believe heavy enough. You don't have enough faith. Right? You don't have enough faith, like real faith. We ain't just talking about that fake stuff running up out here. We talking about people with real faith that believe I'm meant to get to that level in life that I deserve to get to.
Hey, do me a favor. Put a mental statement on the board, not me. Because my question for you are you a time thief? Are you a time thief? If it ain't you, say not me. Put that in the chat. Not me. I'm not a time thief. I'm not stealing time from my family and my friends because I'm let me say it like I want to, because I'm half-assing the job of life. I'm not stealing time. I'm going to put in 110% while I'm here. So when it's time to move on to the next thing, the next item on the agenda, I'm already there. I'm showing up to work early. I'm able to leave each job and show up to work early because I'm putting in 110%. You go to the gym and you work out and you half-ass a workout, LeVar. Guess how long you gonna be there? My brother's a personal trainer, and he's telling me all the time, a personal trainer will tell you that your workout shouldn't take you no more than 45 minutes.
45 minutes to an hour max.
Max. You shouldn't be at the gym for 2 hours. If you're at the gym for 2 hours, you ain't working out.
You doing something.
You hanging out.
You better be a bodybuilder. I'm just saying. You true bodybuilding. I'm just saying.
No,
I'm just saying.
You hanging out at the gym. You got a smoothie in your hand.
You on some other stuff. Right? But listen, Linda. All right, guys. So understand something. Understand something. Right now, it's time to start evaluating whether you're falling asleep at the wheel. Right? Are you falling asleep at the wheel of your life? At the will of your goals, at the will of your future? Are you falling asleep? Because it really, at the end of the day, it don't really matter what anybody else is doing. It don't really even matter if somebody's trying to push you if you're not willing to do the work yourself. If you're not willing to put in the work yourself. If you're not willing to make it happen yourself. If you consistently falling asleep, you're going to have to check something. You're going to have to really check and see, am I inspired? Am I inspired? What is my why? Is my why heavy for me? Because if your why is not where it need to be, you're going to continue playing around. And we ain't about that life. You shouldn't be about that life. You know where you're going, the journey that you want to go. Make sure that you know specifically where that goal is. Know where that goal is, prepare for that goal, and execute. Know what that goal is. Prepare for that goal and execute. And make sure that you're prepared for when you get tired. Make sure that you have the right co-pilot when you get tired. Make sure that you do what you need to do to make sure that you stay at full strength to get to where you need to go. T. Hutton, go ahead and close us out, my brother.
Look, life is about enjoying the journey. Don't get me wrong. I want you to enjoy the destination when you get there.
Pause. Amanda, we will definitely keep you in our prayers. Make sure you go over to growlivedream.com, all right? And stay being a part of the community. We definitely want to keep you in our prayers. We definitely want to help hold you accountable, okay? I got you covered. growlivedream.com. I apologize, T. Hutton. I just wanted to say that before she got off. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, no problem at all. And man, definitely thank you. And make sure you reach out to each one of us. And like you said, if you need that accountability partner, we're definitely here for that. But life is about the journey just as much as it is about the destination. And if you're not prepared for the journey properly, you can find yourself falling asleep at the wheels. And as you fall asleep at the wheel, you oftentimes can find yourself drifting in and out of your lane. And that can be catastrophic for you or others around you. Here at Grow, Live, Dream, we want to see you reach your goal. We want to see you become the best you possible. And we know that it's possible if you put in the preparation, put in the perseverance, and continue to follow your purpose. See, success is out there for you, and you can achieve it. And we want to see you achieve that success. So make sure you go and you prepare for the journey. You persevere on the journey. And trust me, the goal is there waiting for you.
Yes, it is.
Have a great day. Make sure to go over to growlivedream.com. Join the community. Have a great day.
Let's get it, y'all.